a lack of boundaries can lead us to burnout. And I think the world is kind of like collectively in this state or getting really close to this state of burnout. So, one part in my book, and I'm just going to read it to you. This is a section from my book. It says this. It says, in case it's unclear, my burnout didn't happen overnight. Does it ever? It was slow and sweltering, adding a deadline here and an event there until my commitments had become a full-on bonfire, raging out of control with little room to breathe. I didn't realize until it was too late, but I can see now exactly how it happened. Somewhere between shooting my first wedding as a photographer and the night of my undoing, I had tricked myself into believing that boundaries were for weak people, whatever that meant. I thought I was the kind of person who could face the hardship of stress and exhaustion without having to do anything about it. I thought I could just power through a little bit longer and then I'd take a break once things slowed down. How many of you guys have told yourself that? Once things slow down, I'll do that thing. But things never slowed down because I didn't slow down. Every time that small voice inside of me asked me to slow down, I would tell myself it was just the temptation to give up, to lose my momentum, or to cash in a break too early. Like it's something I had to suffer through in order to learn. Like it was the voice of pessimism. And me, well, I was an optimist, an overcomer, an achiever, stopping, turning back, slowing down, saying no. I wanted those options out of my playbook. I wanted to prove to myself and everyone who was watching that I didn't need breaks. I wasn't tired. I didn't need a rest. It wasn't time to sit on the bench. So that is a part from my book. And that kind of shares a little bit about how my lack of boundaries led to a massive burnout. And I want to share that piece because I think for a lot of us, we connect this idea of boundaries with this belief that like weak people set them, that like it's up to us to power through, to forge on. And what I think is really fascinating is that the more boundaries I've invited into my life, and more specifically, the more I've communicated my boundaries, the more respect I have, but also the more opportunity I have to flex the boundary muscle and recognize that it actually makes me really strong.